Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be looking at some cool cards that are going to be coming out in the new Lorcana set. ARCHAZIA'S Island. If I've butchered that, then sorry. I have been looking at them as the reveals have been going on in the last couple of weeks. I'm going to share my thoughts on some of the really cool cards that you should look at picking up yourselves, and I'm doing this halfway through reveals, so there's going to be even better stuff coming out, even more stuff coming out. So let's deep dive into some of my favorite picks for this next set. They're going to range from commons and uncommons to legendary cards. The first cards that I like the look of are these coils, these item cards, and they seem to be for all the sets. Sapphire coil seems super duper broken. During your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, you may give chosen character -2 strength this turn, and I automatically think about the ruby sapphire decks where you've got the Sisus board wiping or getting rid of cards that have a certain strength, and same with Madame Medusa. So it's an inkable, very strong ice block. I think it's going to be seeing some play. The next one is the ruby coil. Very, very similar to sapphire coil. I think all the coils kind of work with what you put in your inkwell. So ruby will be buffing, giving +2 strength to things. And I think there might be some synergy where if you buff your opponent's stuff, you can start banishing that with the greatest criminal mind. And then there's also a Minnie Mouse that will be banishing things that have 5 or more strength, I'm sure. So ruby coil could be really cool in an amber ruby deck. I really like Monsieur D'Arque. I don't know if I'm pronouncing him right, and I actually can't remember what Disney movie he's from. However, he is like a little mini Flaversham. He's a 1-drop. Whenever he quests, you may banish chosen item to draw 1 card. So turn 1 Monsieur, turn 2 Popsicle, draw a card, quest with Monsieur to then pop the Popsicle to draw another card. So a little early game Flaversham with draw 1. I think he'll be seeing play. It's cool having like some 1-drops for that deck. Most players have the Popsicles and then they're just waiting to go into Tipo turn 2. So it's going to make the draw engines for the blue decks even more powerful. Kida. So Kida is a 4-drop with ward, 3/3 stat line, quest for 1. But what's really cool about her is she's just tapping herself on the field and looking at cards on the top of your deck, 2 of them, putting 1 in the inkwell and putting 1 back on top of your deck. So you just know what you're going to be drawing. You're potentially just putting something in the inkwell that probably doesn't work in that following turn. You can also combo it in Blurple where you're tapping her, looking at what's in the inkwell on the top of your deck, and then you go, okay, cool, I'm going to go for a Merlin Rabbit to draw a card, knowing exactly what it is. That might change your play. I really like her. It's really important that she has the tap action because it makes her outable, but the ward might get quite pesky. A bit of synergy with the new Merlin that's coming out. Merlin is a 1-drop 0/1 blurple card, so blue-purple, and he says whenever this character quests, name a card, then reveal the top of your deck. If it's the named card, put it on your inkwell face down and exert it. Otherwise, put it on the top of your deck. Really good synergy with Kida, where Kida's going to be inkwelling and looking at the top card, and then you can quest with Merlin to then name that card and play it straight away. So that's really neat. And obviously, I'm a big Blurple fan. This Merlin card looks so cool. Like, the art is incredible. I think playing Merlin's Cottage might be a really cool, neat idea in Blurple. You play with your top card face up, so some cool synergy going on with those 2 cards. I am a really big fan of King Candy. King Candy is a super rare and he quests for 2, 4-drop, uninkable. Bit of a shame there for him. Sweet Revenge. Whenever one of your other characters, of a race of characters, is banished, each opponent chooses and banishes one of their characters. The reason why this is a really neat card is the speedways ways and all the other races can do damage to one another or themselves. So there's more likely going to be opportunities that you're going to plus off one of your races getting banished, and with King Candy on the field, then you're going to get your opponent to banish something from theirs. And I think it's really cool card, and it could get the Amber Ruby Speedway deck up and running because I've been seeing it and playing with it myself with Jim Hawkins and obviously the Speedways from the previous set. I hope it sees competitive play. One card that caught my eye is Kenai. I don't think I've seen this movie, so I'm going to butcher this little bear's name. 3-drop, inkable, 1/4, quest for 1, has challenger 2, so when it's challenging it will be a 3/4, and it says during your turn, when this character is banished in a challenge, return this card to your hand and gain 1 lore. So this bear is just going to be just attacking everything. I really like that aspect of the card. I hope I can find a place for it. The fact that it comes to your hand and gains you a lore, it means you keep your hand, you can use it to ink if you really want to go like late game into an Elsa or a Hades, and then you're gaining a lore from it. So it's removing things. I think this might be a bit of a sleeper pick when it comes to picking out some set 7 cards. I remember people talking a lot about the Genie that came out last set, and I picked them up quite cheap, and then they went straight to the moon. This might be one of those kind of cards that could have that similar effect. There is one more I have to talk about. Minnie Mouse Storyteller. She's an uninkable 2-drop with 1/2 stat line. Its first ability, whenever you play a character, this character gets +1 lore this turn. So it has no lore on it. You want to play this early and you want to keep it there. It's going to be a massive Let the Storm Rage on target, massive brawl target, because the second ability says, whenever this character quests, chosen opposing character loses strength equal to this character's lore until the start of your next turn. I think this card will be really good in builds that go really, really wide. And what I mean by that, where you'll have a lot of characters on board. Turn 1, you play Daisy. Turn 2, you play Minnie. Turn 3, 2 more 1-drops. This will then go to +2 lore. And then whenever this character quests, a character loses the strength. And the reason why it's good, when you're like questing with Daisy Duck, things will find it difficult to run over them because Minnie's just minusing their strength. You're not minusing the strength to then run over their stuff. You're basically making a wall where it's just difficult to climb over. I really rate that strategy, I think. I don't know. Maybe when I play against it, I won't. So yeah, then my hot takes, my hot picks for the first week of reveals. Obviously, I'd like to come back to it next week if there's going to be some more cards to talk about. Yeah, tell me what you think about the ones that I've just brought up and what kind of cards you're excited about. I will see some of you in Axion in a few weeks' time, and I will see you then. So like and subscribe, and see you in a bit.